Denise Colby, and I live at 1503 Edgewood Lane. I want to especially thank Steve Saunders for spending time with me, explaining different things that day, and listening to all our problems, and especially helping us today. Dick Cates gave long, hard hours, not only the night of the storm, but also afterwards, and Arthur John spoke to me over the phone and took a lot of time with that. Up in our area, we need to expand what you've been doing on the Greenwood study, because much more of the entire area was affected. And it's Greenwood into Tower, but then Asbury Avenue, as it came down to the west, had a tremendous racing water with current. In the block between Greenwood and Vernon, there was a person sleeping in a bed downstairs. They woke up, the bed had moved, they didn't know where they were, they got out into 3 feet of water. So that's a further area. And then Asbury, west of Grove, between Grove and Pine Tree, was still underwater at noon on Saturday, and I believe even later than that, but I don't know just when it cleared. Edgewood Lane, in the block between Grove and Greenwood, which is my block, all houses had water. A car was totally destroyed in the street during the night. It was parked in the street during the night. Some of the houses had as much as 3 feet of water in the basement. I've lived there for 46 years, and we never had a storm like this, but we've also never had the quantity of water that we had as far off. Tower Road, especially the area east of Vernon, was very bad, and I think I needn't say too much more because Dick Cates was personally out and knows much more about that than I do, and I don't need to be repeating what he said. And that was a problem because of the fact that Eaton's was closed off, and cars were coming off of the Tower Road exit and trying to go east on Tower Road, and cars were totally destroyed there, as well as I believe a tow truck had a problem even trying to get to one of the cars. But again, Dick is the expert on this. Greenwood continues to, of course, have major problems. And at the corner of Greenwood and Edgewood, there was water up to a brand new pool table in the basement of that house. People had lived there for many years. Areas south of Tower Road were affected heavily. Dick and I were over at a house at the corner of Hazel and Heather, which I believe had called in as an emergency during the night, and Dick had a long conversation with the owner of that house. The ditch. Now, the ditch is holding much more water than it used to. This is the ditch east of Forest Way and west of Lagoon or Retention Pond, as they refer to it in some things, all east of Forest Way. This ditch is now taking more water where the pumps are coming in from the golf course, and it's backing up more water, so we're getting a higher level. And I'm still trying to find out exactly. I know that the two entryways for the Tower Road storm sewer that used to go in by gravity, and I believe still do, to the south side of Tower Road, have always been low. And even in normal storms, many times the water in both the ditch and the reservoir will cover up that entry. And when you're going in with gravity, it basically means it doesn't discharge until the water is cleared or lowered in those two places. I believe, but I still have not gotten, and maybe Steve could help me with this, I believe that the pump discharge goes into the north side of Tower Road. Is that true? Okay. I do not know how high up above the normal level of the ditch that enters. But again, if it's in a position where in pretty bad storms, let alone what we had, it covers up that entry, it makes it tougher for the pumps to get the water into the ditch. So we get a backup. And what was happening was we were getting a backup in all the feeder systems going to the Tower Road storm sewer. And it so happens that my block happens to have some of the lowest, as well as over on Greenwood. the lowest drains in the street, so we start backing up first. Now, I think we need to talk more about the ditch. People were saying that they also have seen major changes in the area since they changed the configuration of the dam on the lagoons from the 3 pipes in the center that used to discharge the lagoon. That's now a pretty big opening over on the west side. Now, when that goes down, the ditch comes in below the dam. And so as you fill up the area there, it can cause the ditch to back up or the water be higher further back in the ditch. So these are all areas that I think need to be worked on. And again, thank you to everybody, and a special thanks. And I think we really should have a round of applause for all the hard workers all over the village. The Public Works Department, everybody.